What's happening, Steeler Nation, man? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Before Play. This time, the Pittsburgh Steelers will be taking on the New England Patriots, and might I say, the 2-10 New England Patriots. Yes, 2-10 again. Can they get this one done? We shall see. But this is Week 14, Thursday night game, which is the reason why you're seeing this video today, tonight, what have you. And I'm just going to give you the very quick keys to victory. I mean, listen, this is going to be short. By this time, we know what this Steelers team needs to do in order to win football games. Well, first and foremost, let's take a look at who is in and who is out. As we take a look at that, as you can see already, we already know from the Steelers standpoint, Kenny Pickett obviously is out of the game. We understand that. Najee Harris is questionable. Interesting. James Pierre would be out of the game as well, so that may compromise the Steelers a little bit in terms of special teams. And Landon Roberts is questionable with the groin. Now, with a groin and being questionable, man, even if he is able to play, I do question how well his effort will be. So that is going to be an interesting factor, man. I didn't look to see who was elevated, so I'm not 100% sure who was elevated in terms of Blake Martinez, Miles Jack, and I think maybe that decision would have had to have been made today, I'm thinking, because it's a Thursday night game. We'll see, and I'll take a look really quick before I wrap up this particular video. But keep an eye on that, because even if he can play with the groin, the chances of him aggravating it is high, so that is definitely a key thing to pay attention to. Mason Cole is questionable with a neck, so I'm very interested to see how that will transpire as well, because also, as you see, Isaac Seumalo is questionable with the shoulder. Now, if I remember correctly, I want to say Nate Herbig is the backup center as well. He plays guard and center. So if Seumalo can't go and Mason Cole can't go, I'm not 100% sure how they're going to do that rotation in terms of guard and center. So definitely keep your eyes on that, man. Again, if we're thinking the Steelers need to run the football, then this is definitely going to impact that 100%, man, if these guys are out. So let's take a look at the game status for the New England Patriots. Quite a few names there. Keyshawn Bolte, if that's how you pronounce his name, he is out with the shoulder. Demario Douglas is out with a concussion. He's also a wide receiver. Ramondre Stevenson, that's a huge one for them, because that's, he's always a big part of their running game. And even when he doesn't have outstanding seasons, he seems to do something against teams like the Steelers. So that is huge that he is out. They do have Ezekiel Elliott. I don't know exactly who else they have on their roster in terms of, splitting those carries. So we shall see. But, Stevenson is a guy that's always productive with New England. So him being out should be a win for the Steelers defense. Shaun Wade is out, cornerback with an illness. Defensive lineman Christian Barmore, should be familiar with him. I am. Some of you guys who watch football are probably familiar with him as well. He's questionable. Offensive lineman Trent Brown is questionable with an ankle and hand. So keep an eye on that. Devontae Parker, questionable with the knee. Riley Reif is out. Offensive lineman. And Juju Smith-Schuster coming back to Pittsburgh. And I think this might be his first time back, if I'm not mistaken. And he is questionable with an ankle. No need for me to look and see, who practiced and who didn't. I mean, with the short week, I did see that guys like Landon Roberts was limited, and all of those other guys was limited except for obviously Kenny Pickett. And I think that was it. Hold on, let me take another quick peek really quick. As far as limited in yesterday's practice was, today's practice, excuse me. Minka practiced in full, so that's good. Seumalo did not practice. That's not a good sign. Mason Cole was limited, so keep an eye on that. Also, Keanu Benton was limited with the oblique, but he did not show up on the game status report. But keep an eye on those people. So like I said, more than likely, if anything, it looks like possibly that Seumalo might not play because he did not practice today. Landon Roberts did practice. And again, Minkah Fitzpatrick was full in his participation. But on to what I think the Steelers will need to do. Again, I'm not even going to focus so much on New England. That's not a disrespect to New England, but let me just say this. It's a 2-10 football team, just like we faced this past Sunday, right? But this team has been so up and down with their quarterback play and with consistency. They have really been struggling offensively. They didn't put up any points against a Chargers defense that hasn't been great, right? They don't really have any explosiveness to them. You know, it's an NFL game, so if you're not on your P's and Q's, you can lose that game the same way they lost to the Cardinals. You know, it's the NFL, right? It's any given Sunday for a reason. However, like I said, the Pittsburgh Steelers, if they take care of business defensively, at least just be competent, and if their offense can be more than competent, the offense just plain and simple needs to score points. You know, I know that's a very simple game plan, but that's a game plan that we really have to talk about each and every week. This offense has been beyond lackluster. They have to score points. And I feel like they need to score at least 21 points. Maybe it won't take that much to win against the Patriots, but I just need to see them be able to produce points if they're going to continue any type of journey that they expect to continue on the rest of the season. They need to start producing points against teams that, you know, aren't that great. However, but New England has a solid defense. They're stout. They're good. They're pretty good. You know, we were just talking about last week, you know, Kellen Moore, we wouldn't mind having him as an offensive coordinator, and the way he's produced with the Chargers and the Cowboys, and look what New England's defense did to them. 6 points. So that does concern me. Hunter Henry does concern me because I'm pretty sure New England's going to look at that most recent tape from Sunday, and they saw what Trent McBride was able to do. And what is a quarterback's best friend when they're not doing so great outside the numbers and things of that nature? The tight end is the safety blanket. So it's definitely going to come down to us being on our P's and Q's, covering the tight end, covering the middle of the field, and just being solid defensively. Get the pressure going. You know, they're out of offensive linemen. Get that pressure package going and just play sound defense. Because one thing New England is going to do, they're going to play sound. I don't think they're really going to beat themselves. We're going to have to beat them defensively. You know, as far as facing their defense, we're going to have to beat them because I think defensively they will be sound. You know, Bill Belichick coach teams have always been that. So I would like to say establish the run game, but I think we definitely need to try to create some balance because, you know, Bill Belichick has always been good with taking away what a team likes to do. The Pittsburgh Steelers haven't been great passing the football. They've been more of a running team these last several weeks. So I do believe that New England is going to try to do whatever they can to stop the run. So I think we're going to have to take some chances with one-on-ones in this game. I think you're going to get some one-on-one matchups. Mitch Trubisky has said that, you know, and the reason why I called him the gambler, he said, yeah, I know we got to be careful with the football, but, you know, I'm going to try to push the ball down the field. So he's basically saying he's going to take risks, which does scare me a little bit because his risks a lot of times consist of throwing it into double coverage. You're not going to be able to do that against New England because those guys will pick it off. So, listen, if they can find some type of balance, if they can get the run game going, and even if Najee Harris isn't available, if they can keep Jaylen Warren, productive, I think the Steelers should have an opportunity to maintain time of possession and things of that nature. But I'm concerned, man, because again, facing a solid defense, and we haven't put up points really against anybody. No real significant points. So I don't go into this game with any type of comfort or any optimism, even though they're 2-10. And not just because they lost to a 2-10 Cardinals, but because of the way they lost. How about that? The way they lost to the Cardinals and the way they've looked offensively gives me no reason to be optimistic. This is Mitch Trubisky's chance to be a hero. Maybe he goes out there and plays well. I don't know. I don't have any optimism towards that. So, like I said, keep it simple, man. New England's top running back is out. So I would say Keep that same format. Keep the run game down. Force Bailey Zappi or what's the kid? Mac Jones. And I forget that other quarterback that they got that they kind of used to, run the ball a bit with him. I can't remember his name. He's a little more mobile and they're doing some tricky things with him. We just got to force those guys to pass the football. Force them to beat you downfield. And my challenge to the Steelers defense is play as soundly on the back end as you would expect New England to play on their back end. If you can do that, and if this offense can establish balance, I think they should be able to get it done, even with no Kenny Pickett. We definitely got to keep an eye on those injuries to see who plays and who doesn't. But that's all I got at this point, man. I mean, it's week 14. Show up or go home. Plain and simple. That is your key to victory. Play good football or pack it up and go home. And that's all I got. All right, so I look forward to hearing you guys' thoughts and comments. Let me know what you think, what they need to do. What would your opinions be? Do you think the Steelers are going to win? How do you think they're going to win? So give me some interesting comments to read and soak in before the game, and we shall see what happens. But again, man, I'm always going to remind you guys, if you like the video, make sure you hit that like button. If you like the content, subscribe to the channel. And most important, once you are subscribed, make sure you turn on that notification bell so you're fully aware when videos have been uploaded and or being streamed. Outside of that, like always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Stay safe. God bless. Good night. And hey, once again, thank you for tuning in to the Pittsburgh Steelers before play, week 14, Patriots versus Steelers.